The light is really not in our favor today. As of late, I've been trying to remind myself that life happens for you, not necessarily to you. As I try to make the most out of these valuable years of my life and really try to put myself on, I guess I want to say the correct path, but just what I feel is right. I was thinking last night how much like a YOLO mindset puts me not necessarily in the best state of mind. And what I mean by that is when I have that mindset you only live once and take that literal, and now puts me in a state of um, anxiousness because it's like, man, I want to make the right decision. I don't want to mess it up because I don't know if I'll have another chance. And I think at first, adopting or having that mindset maybe can help break free of some, restrictions and limitations you may be putting on yourself. But if I hyper focus on something like that, then it almost starts to have the opposite effect. I don't I don't know what happens after death, so I can't say if that statement is necessarily right or wrong. What I am a little bit more confident in is the more or less the reason for life and more of the purpose. I believe it's to become the best person that you can be. And I think to become the best person that you can be, you need to improve yourself. And usually that involves, education, then experimenting, iterating, implementing, in some order like that. And with having that be my North Star instead of the YOLO, it does make me, it does relieve some burden. And this could all be stuff I'm just doing to myself and maybe nobody else can relate. But by telling myself the whole point is to learn and honestly to fail. And by doing so, you get better. I find myself in a situation that I've been in before, but at first I was getting the mindset, I guess you could say the victim mindset, why me? But then I just try to change my perspective on it. It's okay, this is happening. we can sit back and observe why this is happening and see the reasoning behind it. But I think what I'm trying to focus more on and improve on is how I handle myself in a time like this. Am I going to panic and do things out of a scarcity mindset? And I want to define what I mean by that. When I say scarcity mindset, it's, and I'll give an example. I don't know what 3 months is going to look like from now. So I got to do whatever I can right now because I'm scared of being, I don't know, homeless or missing out on this or that. That's stuff that I cannot ignore, but I cannot let it control me either. Because I don't think good decisions come from that. They're very emotionally charged, and emotionally charged, I think, in a negative way. I think instead, I'm trying to approach it of where I have confidence in myself, I have faith in myself. I know that, yes, I may make mistakes and I am not perfect, but I care enough about myself to want to get better. And as shitty as, certain times in my life or your life or whoever's life may be, I think it is that care that you have for yourself, for others, whatever it may be, to get you through it. Now, before, it used to be the care that I had for others, but that that didn't serve me the best. I didn't. That still that forced me to act, yes, but it was like the wrong type of motivation, the wrong type of fuel to be using to cause action. When when I changed it to caring about myself and wanting better for myself, I think that is truly what it has allowed me to remain calm, be patient, and all while still enjoying myself and life. I heard the saying, and it said that we come out on the other side of life the same way a fruit comes from a tree, or a butterfly comes through a chrysalis. Bringing it back to the YOLO mindset, I think some of the damage that it does is it makes you think this is all you have. This is all you will ever have. And maybe there's some truth to it, but I also think without without having a balanced approach to it, for me, it has led to, I guess you could say, mistakes and harm. But now looking at it through the eyes of the prize is who I am on the other side of this life. I think, irregardless of your religious viewpoints and preferences, I think one thing a lot of religions have in common is you're going to be judged in some way on your life. Whether it's you judging yourself, God judging you, whoever. The decisions that I make and how I try to move forward with my life does come from a place where, looking back on my deathbed in my final moments, will I be proud of the decisions that I made? And more importantly, will I be proud and love the person I became in the process? I know we all have our own unique circumstances and perspective on life. However, I think the work that we need to do is very similar. The work that each one of us has to do in our own life, I think, is the same for everyone. I think I know I feel pain, and I know other people feel pain. Um, I know I suffer, and I know other people suffer. I think the difference comes in is, what is causing the suffering. But I think we all share some type of suffering, and I think it is our job not to relieve ourselves necessarily of the suffering, but to become the person who can handle the suffering.